Hey everybody, it's Carly here, and I wanted to share my continued attempts to learn to no-line color with Copics. This is a technique I find difficult, but I found a few tips that are working for me, and I loved how this card came out, so I wanted to share with you. So my first tip is find an ink pad that works for you. I've tried a bunch, and I have found that this Ink on 3 fade out pad is by far my favorite. It has really made such a difference. And I am using it to stamp both the puddle and the bunny here today. I didn't bother masking these two because I'm going to color over, so it won't matter. But I am going to stamp Bunny's reflection in that puddle, and I don't want him to extend past the puddle, so I'm masking that off. Now I'm using a little piece of acetate to do my mirror stamping instead of a mirror stamp. I just find the Ink on 3 ink pad works better with the acetate than with the mirror stamp. That could just be me. So I'm stamping Bunny again on that acetate, and then I am flipping it over so that the two little bunny feet will match up, and I'm just pressing that ink on there. Now when I put it close up, you can see there's Bunny, there's the puddle, there's the reflection, but I know it's really hard to see when it's down on my mat and I'm coloring. So I'm removing the mask, and then I'm adding a few little hearts in that same fade out ink. Those little hearts are going to get turned into splashes from the puddle jumping because it's Valentine's and I'm feeling very lovey, I guess. Okay, so now I don't usually show my coloring in videos because I know it's a little painful to watch, so please forgive me. Please forgive all the paper turning and twisting. Apparently that's part of my technique when I color. I didn't know till I watched it back. So while you're watching me color, which I hope is helpful, I find it helpful to watch other people color too, so I hope this isn't too bad. I'm just going to give you a few more of my tips for no line coloring that I have found really work for me. So besides having the right ink pad to stamp your images in, I have found that having the stamp close by on my desk so I can reference it when those lines start to fade away under my coloring, and then I can remember, like, oh yeah, this is an arm, or this is a leg, or this is how the foot is supposed to be shaped. So just keep that stamp close by as a reference. I've also found small images are key, because when you start coloring a big image and you lose all those lines, man, that can get overwhelming. So small images have really worked for me, and also the first success I ever had was with a floral stamp, because you can take a lot of artistic license with a floral. So I highly recommend, if you're new to this process, start small and start floral. Okay, so now you can see I'm coloring Bunny's reflection in that puddle with the lightest shade of that BV family, and not adding too much definition to it, just a little bit of shadow in one little spot because I really want it to stay like a reflection in the puddle. And then I'm coloring the puddle with BGs because they're just my go-to fave color, and I think everything's a little bit better when it's minty. And then the droplets get colored, and you can see that I don't have a fabulous coloring technique. I just kind of wing it, and you know, sometimes I think that works. Plus I did a lot of practice, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so now little Bunny's face, I'm just going in with Memento Tuxedo black marker, and you can still kind of in certain lights see where the stamped image was, so I can just kind of follow that. So there you go. I hope those tips were helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching. You can find more about my little puddle jumping purple bunny on my blog. Thanks much and have a great day.